progress in this offseason. So let's get right into the next topic, and that is going to be discussing. I love how this is supposed to be. I think here we go. Is this the right one, or are we on the wrong? There we go. My apology, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about Clint Capela going to either the Spurs or the Lakers. Yes. There's also reports that I think maybe a team like the Knicks could be interested in him. But let's get right into the reports and why either of these teams would be interested in Clint Capela. Yes, Clint Capela is a little bit over the hill, you could say. He's a guy that his knees aren't what they used to be. He's still, I think, a good rebounding and finishing center, albeit as a backup. I don't think he should be someone that you want as a starter due to the fact that I think he is a little old. Okay. And if you're trying to bring him in to be a part of a center by committee, I think that approach is actually the best version that a team like the Lakers or even the Spurs, I think, might be a better organization for him to go to due to the fact that he's a guy that at this point in his career, it's not that like he's wrong, like bad or isn't an impactful player, but here we'll read you what we saw my coworker Michael Scotto at hoopshype.com, right? Following the Kristaps Porzingis trade, it seemed like Clint Capela's days were numbered. We already thought that this season, when he was an expiring contract that didn't get traded, that was rumored to be traded all year, he had been supplanted in the starting lineup by Onyeka Okongwu, who had gotten an extension. Now, the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Spurs, my apology, it wasn't the Knicks, it was the Clippers as the other one. They already have Zubac. Clint Capela would be a perfect backup guy who would come in and do the same thing that Zubac does, albeit at a lesser level. And then the Lakers, if they're going to keep, Christian Colocu, Trey Jemison, I don't know about Kleba, but they're kind of that like whole group that they have there in Los Angeles. And even if they bring back Jackson Hayes, Clint Capela could make a great insurance policy. While Victor Wembanyama, Clint Capela, and depending on if they keep a reserve big man or not, or bring somebody back in like a Bismack Biyombo or Sandro, is it Mamu? I can't say the rest of the last name, but could be, worthy. Now, this is a guy who averaged 8 and 8 last year on 56% from the field. And those numbers aren't bad, but for what he used to be, it isn't great. So we'll start with the Clippers. If you guys have not seen the Clippers currently, James Harden, Norman Powell, Kawhi Leonard. We got Derrick Jones at power forward, Zubac at center. They did draft Yannick Conan Niederhauser. He might need a little bit of time because he might be too green behind the ears. So Clint Capela could be a good third guy. And Drew Eubanks is a non-guaranteed contract, as that means they'll probably waive him. And it's been reported that he's not expected to return. So right there, Clint Capela's an upgrade in your big man rotation. You have Kobe Brown, Pat Baldwin, Jordan Miller, Cam Christie, Kobe Sanders, Bogdan Bogdanovic, who they're expected to trade, Chris Dunn, and Seth Lundy. Now, Ben Simmons and Patty Mills, Amir Coffey, Nick Batum are all expected to return. Ben Simmons, I believe, is the least likely, and then probably Patty Mills and Amir Coffey are kind of like 50-50, but Nick Batum's a guaranteed to return. So with all that being said, who's the next team? Of course, it is everybody's favorite Los Angeles Lakers. I'm just kidding, guys. Some people hate the Lakers, but this is a team that with Maxi Kleber, Jared Vanderbilt, Trey Jemison being their true only big men, and Jemson's on a two-way with as well Jackson Hayes and Christian Colocu expected to come back. Colocu, Hayes is depending on how their center hunt goes. Clint Capela could be a bridge starter or a good backup for Jackson Hayes if he stays. I kind of like that, especially with Rui Hachimura, Dalton Connect, LeBron James all being your forwards, and then Jared Vanderbilt can play both, small ball five and be a power forward. I think the Lakers would benefit from this. I think the Clippers right now is the best fit just because you wouldn't be asking too much of him, or the Spurs, similar thing where, yes, he could be a starter, but at the same time, if you brought back Bismack Biyombo or Mamu or even Charles Bassey, those are all guys who can be center by committee with Clint Capela. And just imagine all the rebounding and plays you can get done with a guy like Mr. Clint Capela. I'm also like super salty that this is supposed to be, I don't know if you guys see this. I'm gonna fix this camera. I thought I'd crop this, but clearly was not properly cropped, and now you guys have been able to see me on the left right here. To fix this, we'll go, I think, 600. And wow, you would have thought that would have done a good enough job. Either way, as we continue this, if you guys are a fan of the Spurs, the Clippers, or the Lakers, who do you think would have been the right choice, in your opinion, to bring into this organization? As to me, I think the best choice would have been being able to choose maybe the Spurs or the Clippers. I think the Clippers are evidently the best one. You're not forcing Capela to be your starter. With the Spurs and the Lakers, depending on how the offseason goes, you might end up being forced to start Capela, and I just don't think Capela is a starter in the NBA anymore, and that's my biggest cause of concern right there. So that's my 2 cents on that.